whoever the organizer was, a promoter, was doing something slick, sounds like to me, probably charged those people and told them that they had to pay money and they was going to do a 45-minute Q&A on top of the pictures.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, guys, I want to veer towards another topic. So, as we all know, Allen Iverson, right? He's been facing some backlash for, basically, he had a bunch of charity events scheduled in Australia. And I want to make sure I say this correctly. I don't want to fuck this up. Okay, so I posted this. My bad. So I posted this the other day, right? I posted that. No, this is the actual. No, this is the original one. Let me show you the original clip. Yeah, Allen Iverson's been facing some backlash. But I want to make sure I read from my page so I don't I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay. So I initially posted this. So Allen Iverson, reports came out that Allen Iverson, they said that he had a disgusting appearance at a charity event. This is all quote. This is allegedly. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just putting out what was reported. So basically, it was for a bunch of cancer patients. It was a charity event in Melbourne, Australia, for children fighting cancer. Now, families in attendance claim Iverson arrived nearly 2 hours late. His security told families he was having a bad day and didn't want to come out. And he also refused to allow parents in a room during the meeting. He also refused to sign jerseys or memorabilia. And he did not speak to children. And he kept his hands in his pockets during photos without smiling. This is all alleged. And this is what was reported. So that's why I put it out there. Now, obviously, we got a lot of comments. People are like, what the fuck? How can Iverson do this? This is so fucked up. And even Andrew Bogut came out saying he's a shit human. I was like, what the fuck? This is like surprising. So when Andrew Bogut took wind of this, he called him a shit human. No excuses for this. If anyone knows about this, please reach out, yada, yada, yada. Okay? Now, I posted this, right? This is 3 days ago. Yesterday, I got a bunch of DMs from people from Australia, and they sent me videos of like people in a long line waiting for Iverson. And this shit went up on Instagram. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, where is it? Boom. So I put here, a clip surfaced showing a long line of people in Melbourne waiting to see Allen Iverson for a charity event, which he eventually reportedly canceled after they waited 2 hours. Now, this obviously comes after Allen Iverson faced a major backlash earlier this week for canceling or failing to properly attend scheduled promotional and charity events in Melbourne, Australia. And it also made national news in Australia. So I was like, what the fuck? And a bunch of people were DMing me and they were like, yo, post this. I'm like, okay, fuck it. Let me see.
An Iverson event at Culture Kings. Take a look at the line. It goes all the way around. And all the way down. And he's supposed to show up. He was supposed to show up at 5. At the moment, it's 6:20. So he might not even rock up. So yeah, let's find out. You better do it, Iverson. You better. So 5 minutes after I did that post, check this out. It's been canceled.
So this is the people leaving because it was canceled. Reportedly canceled.
Canceled. Everybody's off. This is nuts. Oh my god. This is so bad, man. Iverson, what are you doing? Megatix, what the heck are you doing?
Boys, I'm really sorry that that's happened. I'm going to free a $200.
How do you guys do this, man? This is crazy. We're here.
And this is the clip of it being on Australian news.
2.5 hours to get there. I was pretty sad that he didn't even say anything.
This is actually one of the cancer patients that were speaking on the alleged situation.
All we got was a photo. I was disappointed.
It wasn't the only disappointment for fans. This is the next day.
It's been cancelled. Everybody's off. This is nuts. Oh my gosh. This is so bad, man. Iverson, what are you doing?
People who waited hours flew in from interstate and paid hundreds of dollars for a meeting.
So there's that. Now, when I saw this, I was like, damn, this, like, and again, Iverson still hasn't come out with an official statement. So I'm like, there has to be two sides to this story. There's no way Iverson would just do something like this maliciously. Well, quite recent, well, not quite recently, but a couple hours ago, I posted that there was some new news that came out that indicates Iverson did not mistreat children. So it says here, new information indicates Allen Iverson did not mistreat children at a cancer charity event, with issues stemming from event promotion and miscommunication rather than his conduct. Iverson was reportedly only scheduled for photos, arrived on time, and space limitations restricted room access. So I guess you can say the promoters were like trying to be funny and like try to make more money, and sort of kind of didn't communicate to Iverson exactly what he was going to be doing. So I guess when Iverson was like, he didn't expect to do certain things that he didn't agree to. That's basically my assumption to this. But let me continue. It says Iverson was reportedly never informed that an interview was part of the event. It was only aware that his obligation involved taking pictures. As a result, expectations said the promoter did not align with what Iverson had agreed to. Could just read that, right? Contrary to claims that Iverson arrived late, he was on time according to his agreed upon schedule. Reports suggesting that parents were deliberately excluded from the room have also been disputed. This space used for the photo session was too small to accommodate everyone, and even members of Iverson's own team were not permitted inside due to capacity limitations. After completing this appearance, Iverson went on to attend 4 additional events that same day, further supporting the claim that he fulfilled his scheduled commitments. It is also important to know that Iverson has personal experience with a seriously ill child, making it highly unlikely that he would knowingly disrespect or mistreat children facing medical challenges. Overall, the available information suggests that the controversy was resulted from miscommunication and promotional misrepresentation, rather than any intentional wrongdoing by Allen Iverson. And Shabazz OG, I'm not sure who this is. I think he may be related to Iverson. I don't know what the relationship is, but Shabazz OG dropped videos, the Instagram page, explaining what happened. So let's check that out.
Whoever the organizer was, a promoter, was doing something slick, sounds like to me, probably charged those people and told them that they had to pay money and they was going to do a 45-minute Q&A on top of the pictures.
Makes sense.
He only knew about the pictures. He knew nothing about no 45-minute question and answering with the cancer kids. He never found out about that until after the fact, when it was all said and done. He wasn't even there when he found out about that. So that's the organizer's fault. Over-promising, under-delivering. That's not his fault. When they say the kids waited for 2 hours, if they got there at 9 a.m., his itinerary, all the interviews were set up 10 minutes apart. So if their part of the itinerary was at 11 o'clock and they got there at 9, that means they waited for 2 hours. He wasn't just, whoever the organizer was, he wasn't just sitting in the room scratching his ass, just making people wait for 2 hours. They say he didn't let the parents come in the room. False. That had nothing to do with him. The room was so small and concise that nobody could fit in the room, including his team. Nobody was in the room except him, the people doing the interview, the camera crew and the cameras, and whoever else needed to be there at that time, which was the kids. That's who took pictures. Other than that, nobody else was in that room. That's why the parents weren't in there. They say, oh, he said he was having a bad day. How? He went and did 4 more events after that. So he was having a bad day for the cancer kids, but then go do 4 more events gladly. Not to mention he was there 11 days ahead of these events, taking hundreds of pictures every day. The man wouldn't have flew across the world to go over there and mistreat no kids. Him and his wife Tawana had a sick child. He wasn't just sitting in on a bad day for the cancer kids, but then go do 4 more events gladly. Not to mention he was there 11 days ahead of these events, taking hundreds of pictures every day. The man wouldn't have flew across the world to go over there and mistreat no kids. Him and his wife Tawana had a sick child. That's not even the kind of person he is. But on top of it, the fact that he knows what it's like to have a sick child, he's not going to mistreat one. But it's a shame that people so quick to judge this man and just dismiss him and write him off without even having heard what come from his side of the table. That's what's wrong with humans, and that's what's wrong with us, especially as black culture. We don't wait. We run with headlines and judge. On a bad day for the cancer kid.
Yeah, man. And he's not lying. When I posted this, right? A lot of people were like you know, like just bashing Iverson, and especially Andrew Bogut. He just to call him a shit human. I was like, wow. Like, so it's just like, have you been holding that in this whole time? Like, it was pretty easy for him to say that, right? Like, you know, I bet he took the appearance money though. You see, people just assume that, you know, he did it, right? You know. Now there are obviously some people who said, "Nah, they're lying." You know, somebody also said, "I want to hear both sides." There was a couple people saying, "Definitely want to hear both sides," but if he did do that, then man, that is fucked up. Which I think should be, you know, I think it's a fair comment, right? Give people time to defend themselves. You know. Yeah, this is definitely uncharacteristic of him. Who knows the reason for it? What can I say? Allen Iverson has a big heart, in my opinion. He has to put equity, kindness. Yeah, man, let me know what you think about this, man. But I don't know if Iverson will come out. I don't think he will come out. I mean, at this point, he hasn't come out to say anything. So, yeah.